American sports radio personality, our main man from the sports grid, Scott Ferrall, joins the show.
Yeah. Scott.
How you doing, brother?
What's up, boys? I've been hearing rave reviews about you, and they've been telling me, Ferrall, you got to go on with Coach and Smitty. And I said, all right, so let's dance. What's the problem? And then finally they got me to do it, and here I am, chilling the most, causing trouble.
Hey,
get ready. Stinking, lying.
I already love it. Yeah, I love it already. I love the energy and then everything. You got to be from either where? St. Louis, Minnesota, in the Midwest, or East Coast?
I'm a Pittsburgh boy.
Pittsburgh.
That's Midwest-ish, East Coast.
Well, it's East Coast, and it's hardcore.
Is it Midwest or East Coast?
It's East Coast. Right now. It's East Coast, and it's it's shots and beers, and the women are whores. It's always a championship city, 6 Super Bowl titles, 5 Stanley Cups, couple World Series in my lifetime. You know, they won in 60 before I was born when Mazeroski hit the homer against the Yankees to beat the Yankees in Game 7 in the bottom of the 9th inning at Forbes Field. And then I went to the 71 and 79 World Series. So, I'm 60, right? And I've seen all this shit, and it's a great city, but I've lived in New York City now. I've been doing the show in New York City for the last 30 years. So I've been in the Big Apple for 30 years. And I think it's the coolest city in the world, and it's also hell on earth, right? It's also a stressful, whack place. So, I live in Hell's Kitchen. I could walk down to get a bagel and get raped, shanked, murdered, shot, beaten with a bat. I could have my head chopped off. I could be set on fire, and I could also be a corpse on a subway and have someone have sex with me while I was dead. All that could happen just like on a Monday.
Just like today. So.
And you can hit the lotto and meet somebody, a billionaire, and change your life forever, too.
That shit never happens to me.
Well, it's a blessing that you've made it to the show today, then, and we're not going to take this for granted.
I drink too much. I gamble too much. Yeah. I swear too much, and I play ball 6 days a week. I played this morning, so I play ball at 6 in the morning with all these animals. Hoops. I play with all these D1 and NBA retired guys, and I'm a really good basketball player. I played my whole life. I went to Indiana, and I worked for Bob Knight for 5 years, so I'm a baller. I play every day, and I get up at 5 a.m. to play ball. It's crazy. And then I play on a championship team on Wednesday nights. It's called U-Hoops. It's at Lifetime Athletic, which are these enormous gyms all over the country. And they have all these NBA and D1 guys that play in it that are retired. It's an incredible league. And I've been part of 10 years of it, and 13 titles I've won. And I've lost 10. So I've been in 23 championship games. I play with great players, right? So I play with all these D1 cats that can really fill it up. And then, the rest of the time I just bang out shows. I gamble and I drink a ton of rum. Shake it, ooh, shake it, ooh, shake it, ooh, shake it, ooh. Just like you sitting in that bar. I'll fit right in with you, Coach.
Hey.
You're he might be like the perfect guest, because he's a combination of you don't give a fuck.
No.
You cuss, you smoke, you drink. But you hooped in Indiana. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. I went to Ball State, chirp.
All right, I've been to Muncie, Dave Letterman. That's Dave Letterman's spot.
Come on now.
I did Letterman twice. He was my hero. He was my favorite of all time. And the funniest dude I ever met. He was a huge fan of my show and invited me on his show. I stripped naked on his show. I think that got me invited back a second time. So that was I've been to Muncie. I partied there. But I went to Bloomington. I went to IU, and I did
Little Five.
I did Little Five. So I did 5 years of Indiana basketball. The last game I ever covered, they beat Syracuse in the Superdome for the national championship. And then I did soccer play-by-play. 3 national titles for Jerry Yeagley. I did the soccer team. And I did soccer because I noticed when I took the job how much pussy I got. When you hang out with soccer players, and at the time, Pete Stoyanovich was on that team. He later played for the Dolphins for a number of years. Just trails of ass. Just chicks everywhere. And his leftovers were my easy, commission. I got commission on his leftover pussy. Are we on the air? Yeah. I went after all the chicks in Indiana. I DJ'd overnight. I used to take girls to the radio station. And while I was playing Led Zeppelin and Madonna and doing mushrooms, I'd have sex with them on the board. Shake-a-doo, 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 shake-a-doo.
Are you a bad boy?
I am a troublemaker and a heathen, and I've had open heart surgery. I died. I met Jesus.
How is he?
He's not as cool as you guys, but he's pretty dope. He's like that new dude, Pub Leo. I like him too. I bet that guy's partied in his lifetime on the south side of Chicago. Haven't we all partied on the south side of Chicago? I worked there too. So I worked my career went like this. I went national out of Vegas, and then I went to CNN. Then I went to, that was in Atlanta. Then I went to San Francisco, KMBR, home of the Warriors and the Giants. I was there when Bonds was there. Then I was in LA and I was syndicated nationally with Howard Stern and CBS and Westwood One. And it was a WFAN New York show, but I was living in LA and smoking that fine crip. And then they forced me to move to New York or they were going to fire me because I never listened to anyone. And I was always in trouble because I was a shock jock. And I was constantly in trouble. Like I was doing gambling before anyone, and they treated me like a pedophile or a heroin dealer. Like I was raping kids because I was talking gambling spreads, teasers, reverses, money lines, totals. And then from there, I've been in New York ever since. But I did work in Chicago before Vegas. So I started in Pittsburgh at CBS, and then I went to Chicago and I worked at Sports Channel, and I covered the Blackhawks and White Sox. And then I even did play-by-play for the White Sox A-ball team in Sarasota. And I lived in Siesta Key, as you've heard of that beach. And all I did down there was bang chicks, too. I banged so many chicks down there on the beach that Jerry Reinsdorf fired me in the press box live in the middle of a game. And after that, I went to Vegas. And then I got, kind of big in terms of being syndicated nationally. So I've been lucky because my show's been national pretty much for the last 40 years.
Wow.
Is this Jabrown? Smitty?
What's that?
It might be.
we got a doppelganger of me on the show that we bring out right there. That's my brother, and I thought it was
I like him already.
Yeah, I'm about to say, JB, I think you found your match. I know you think you run crazy SOB right here though. My God,
where do you guys do the show out of?
I got a cigar lounge. I got a cigar lounge. We had a studio that we were using together in person like 3 times a week.
Right.
It just became daunting, man. What
city?
We're in Cali, LA area.
Oh, cool. So I'm from Huntington Beach. When I lived in LA, I lived there for 12 years. I love Surf City. My son goes to San Diego State, so he's he'll be a junior, and he's Dean's List, super smart. And he smokes 100 bong rips a day, and he bangs chicks in G-string bikinis.
I know you're proud.
Let's
talk a little bit of NBA playoffs real quick, because I know you're about to how you can hoop, man. What's your thoughts right now? Earlier before you jumped on, we're talking about the Boston Celtics, the Knicks series. Obviously, the Celtics looked horrible the first 2 games, at least to close out those games. Down 0-2. Last night, they came back, went 50% from the 3-point line.
Right.
Do you feel like the Celtics are back in control of this series?
I do. I think that they were in control of all 3 games, and the Knicks came back twice from 20 at the Garden in Boston, stunning them in game 1 in overtime. Inexplicably, Brunson missed the shot off the glass that would have won it in regulation. They beat him in overtime, 108-105. Bridges has the steal on Brown late. Game 2. Same thing, down 20 in the fourth quarter. It was 73-53. They come back and they beat them 91-90, and everybody thinks it's over. And then Saturday, they got their ass whacked, and they hit 50% of the threes. Tonight, I'm certain they'll have their hands full again. I think the Celtics can win. I'm a huge Knick fan. I kind of like them with the 6.5, the points. And I think that, look, here's the reality of it. I think the Pacers, and I've said the Pacers for 3 months, we're going to go to the Eastern Final because they're 10 deep. They have 2 rotations and a great coach. They fuck with the Knicks every time they play them. Last year, they eliminated the Knicks. Everybody blamed injuries and everything else, but they actually just kicked their ass. And so now, I think if they play the Knicks, let's say the Knicks get through, which I doubt. Let's say they do. The Pacers will beat them. But if the Celtics get through, I think the Celtics will beat the Pacers again because I think they give them matchup problems. Nobody can play with the Pacers. they're just having fucking sex with the Cavaliers,
right.
who were, the best team in the East. Everybody thought they were going to go play the Celtics in the Eastern Final, and now they're down 3-1. I wasn't surprised at all at games 1 and 2. I bet them to win both outright and with the 9.5 and the 8. And I bet the Cavs in game 3, believe it or not, hit it. And I bet the Pacers in game 4. I think the Pacers will go to Cleveland and lose game 5, and they better win game 6 at the Fieldhouse, because if they go back to Cleveland, they'll blow it, and it will be Boston and Cleveland. As far as the other sides, Oak City did what they had to do. They got the huge win. They finished him off in clutch time, and now they're going home. They'll win game 5 at home. I don't know if they'll cover. The reason being, Joker's not shooting well. I think Denver's really dangerous. I think game 6 will go Denver's way in the Ball Arena in the Mile High City. And then which one am I missing?
Minnesota Timberwolves and the Warriors.
That game's tonight, right? Again, they got problems without Curry because Green can't shoot, and he can defend, but he can't shoot, and he can't afford to get in fights and technicals. And, I mean, they're relying on Butler and Hield to do everything. Instead, it's been Kuminga in the last game, but they still lost. Minnesota's going to win that series because of the Curry injury and because they're flat out better anyway. They would have beat them with Curry because I think they're deeper. I think they're 9-10 deep. I think the bench that Curry uses with Jackson Davis, Kuminga, Spencer, Post, they're all ass. None of those guys are, guys that can take over a game or dominate. And I watched Trace Jackson Davis at Indiana play. I thought he was a great player in the Big Ten. Just another Indiana guy that never really got huge in the NBA. I think he's what I like to refer to as serviceable. I think he's got game in some capacity. But overall, if it's the fourth quarter and you got him in, you're probably losing.
Damn. You just said a lot real quick. Jamie, real quick before you jump in, can you remind us one more time what the Indiana Pacers are doing to the Cleveland Cavaliers right now?
I mean, they're just having sex with them. They're just fucking.
Hey,
Nate to ass.
Go to ass.
Yank.
Hey, I love it. I love it, man. Let me ask you something real quick. What's your take on? So I know you talk everything, but like in the football world, real quick, our kind of wheelhouse. What's your take on the Cleveland Browns, man? There's a lot of controversy going on out there. The quarterbacks they took, two of them, and then they take a D tackle at number 5 after the trade that looks horrifically out of shape, throwing up in minicamp already, and people are questioning the 5th round pick and blah blah blah. Hey, what if the Cleveland? I got a question. Do you think the Cleveland Browns draft, as good as they think it is, could be the worst of all of them?
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know about worst of all of them. I think Grisham's a badass. I don't care if he pukes at mini camp. Who wants to do that? Like go out in the middle of the day and run sprints and do all kinds of push-ups and you're banging the bags and you're moving the train and you're doing all that, and then you hurl. Like I've hurled way less coming out of nightclubs and out of my car, and in my house, and on my deck, and on this. I've been walking in the street in New York City and just rip one right out after too many shots. And just right out. So I think that he's a stud, monster mother Ferrall up front. He's going to be a freak. I'd give a shit if he puked. Remember the goalie the other night for the Leafs? He started puking. He got hit in the head with a bug. He's puking on the bench. Everybody pukes. I seen my kids puke. I seen my wife puke. I know you two puke.
Yeah.
So, but I think Sanders will eventually do his thing. I think he's got talent. I know he's got an arm. And I think he's kind of come across as a dickhead with his whole I'm better than everybody. And I'm the greatest thing that ever happened on the face of the earth. He's a lot like his dad. So I knew his dad, right? And I've been around him a lot in my career. And like when I was in San Francisco, and I've seen him play in Dallas many times. I've seen him in Super Bowls, and I've seen him at Florida State. I'm a Canes fan, and I've seen the Canes win 5 national titles and take on Florida State every year, and he was my worst nightmare. That guy was the greatest quarterback that ever played in the NFL, bar none. And then now he's kind of a decent coach. Obviously, he's good at recruiting. They haven't won shit there. They've won a few games, but they haven't won titles. And he didn't make the playoff. He didn't win the Big 12. He didn't, now he's in, they got him like he's some kind of god. What I think he is, he's a pain in the ass when it comes to his kids. Like, he should stay out of it. I thought Ball, their dad was an asshole. I think Deion needs to let his kids be his kids. Let them run their life. It's their life. It's their career. It's their time. It's their world. You're the coach at fucking Rado. So go to Boulder and coach your new team and let these kids become who they are. Shiloh with the Buccaneers and this dude with the Browns. Now, I'm a Steeler fan, so the Browns can suck my dick. I just want to be clear on that. But I know they never win. I know that. So
hold on real quick. You brought the Steelers up. What are y'all doing at the fucking quarterback position? Is Aaron Rodgers coming or not? Give us the insight.
Listen, he is coming. I think he has. What I've heard is that he got a membership at Nevillewood. Now, this means a lot. Nevillewood is the biggest golf club besides Oakmont in Pittsburgh. And they played a U.S. Open at Oakmont. Nevillewood is where all the rich people live, and players like Mario Lemieux. Every great, rich, powerful person lives at Nevillewood. And the golf club at Nevillewood is, elite. And it's for rich pricks and assholes or famous athletes. He's got a membership there now, all of a sudden. Why the fuck would he get that? He's going to live there in Nevillewood, and he's got a membership to the golf club. Why would he do that just because he wants to, fly into Pittsburgh every once in a while and play golf? No, he got it because he's going to do a deal with him and play at least 1 or 2 years in Pittsburgh. And I think it's going down. Although I don't really give a rat's ass if he plays for the Steelers because I already watched him broke ass the Jets. He didn't do shit in New York except talk on talk shows and never win. They never won. He threw numbers, TDs. He was still himself throwing the ball. He's not stupid. He's still a good quarterback. He just doesn't win anymore. He's old. He's washed. It's over. He's never going to be an MVP again. He's never going to win another Super Bowl. If the Steelers make the playoffs, which they always do, I'm a season ticket holder. I fly back to all the games. They're a 9-10 win team tops, and they're one and done in the playoffs. They go to a wild card game on the road. They never get one at home. They were 3 games up with 6 games to go in the division, and they ended up playing on the road and lost every game in December. Russell Wilson blows. He's got a hot wife, though, and he didn't get it done, and they didn't get it done. They haven't won since 2015 in the playoffs. They suck in the postseason anymore. But I went to 8 Super Bowls, and I saw them win 6, so everyone can suck my nuts.
I agree. You can sling that shit around right now talking that shit. I got to ask you, losing Pickens, who I think is a shitbird, does that affect Aaron Rodgers' decision?
I don't think so because he was a pain in the ass. They've had 7 or 8 pain in the ass receivers. They got rid of all of them. And did you know that every single one of them never got better when they left? Not one guy had a better season ever with yards or touchdowns. Not one guy. Every one of them, from Antonio Brown, Claypool, Deontay Johnson, goes on and on. Martavius Bryant, Santonio Holmes. Holmes caught a touchdown in the corner of the end zone in the Super Bowl from Roethlisberger, the greatest catch of his life. He never caught another ball that mattered in his career. So Pickens is a great player, best player on the Steelers, but he's a cunt. So when you're a cunt, they get rid of you.
Yeah,
and
no
then,
doubt.
Now they got Metcalf, and they got a bunch of hacks. That kid Wilson from Michigan's probably going to get his best crack at playing. They got a bunch of, I think average guys with him. They picked up Woods. He's a veteran. He's washed, but he can play. They already had that in Van Jefferson, a receiver that can do it, but he's washed and never makes plays. So they got issues, but they got a good defense, good coach, great fans. They're always a playoff team. People can say whatever they want about Pittsburgh. Why is it that they go to the playoffs every year?
And that's why they believe if you guys do get Aaron Rodgers, he can at least win a playoff game for you. It makes a second round.
Maybe. I think he needs to, frankly, as they say in the south of France, shit or get off the pot. I mean, if you're gonna join Nevillewood and you're gonna what is he waiting for? The second coming? Jesus? What
I've been saying the same shit, man. Fucking
just
shit.
Get it over with already, bro. They're announcing
shit.
this. They already announced the first game, Dallas and Philly. I think this Thursday they do the whole schedules, and this guy still hasn't made his mind up yet. What is he, pregnant? Honestly, I don't care anymore about this dude's drama. So I don't watch his weekly interviews with Pat. I'm cool with Pat and all those guys from that show. They're Pittsburgh guys. I'm cool with everybody. I don't mess with nobody. I'm cool with you guys. But I'm sick and tired of his bullshit, honestly. Like,
I'm the same
he's
way.
Like a soap opera. He's like all my children, your boy over here.
No, I'm the same way. I used to be on Pat's show, and I told them guys the same thing. Like, fuck, man, do something, make a decision. You guys, for him to string these guys out is my issue. They had to have had, and I'm glad you gave us the insight on the golf course membership. They had to have had a gentleman's agreement handshake, because there's no way Tomlin does what he does in this offseason and they're going in here with no fucking quarterback. You don't go in here with Pickett.
Here's a funny story. So I'm in Indianapolis at the Steelers-Colts Monday night game like 2 seasons ago. I hook up with my son, and I took him to an IU basketball game against North Carolina. And the night before, we went to see the Colts and Steelers on Monday Night Football. Then Wednesday night was the North Carolina was number 1 in the country. There you go. Fire that bitch up. So anyway, I take him to the game. We go to the Steelers team hotel. That's where we stayed. And I'm in the lobby, and it's lunchtime. And I said, all right, let's go eat. So we go into the restaurant, and there's literally, and it was like, noon on the number. Like literally it was like 12 o'clock noon sharp. And we walked in, there was no one in this hotel bar restaurant except one person. And it was Mason Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. And I said to my son, I go, hey, that's Mason Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. Do you want to get his autograph? And he goes, no. And I went, oh shit! All right, let's go over here and get a booth. And then a couple of years later, he won the last 3 games and got him in the playoffs when their quarterback went down. And then he won those last 3 games, including the rainy game in Baltimore and the game in Buffalo. Got him into the playoffs, and then they lost. Then he went to Tennessee. Now he's back with the Steelers. I would, look. I'm used to him. I don't have a problem with him. I don't think he's good, but I think he's serviceable. I think he can win 3 or 4 games and then, have a couple beers, chill. Maybe if someone gets hurt, put him back in. They got the kid Will Howard from Ohio State. Say what you will. He won a Big 12 championship. Then he went to Ohio State and he won a national championship. And guys on my show said he sucks as he's throwing 80-yard ropes to Ibuka and Smith in that title game, and his arm was a cannon, and he looked really good to me. And now everyone says he sucks, he's going to be terrible, and everything. I don't listen to people. People don't know shit about the NFL pain day. I know this. You bust your ass, good things can happen. If you work and you listen to vets and listen to coaches and do what you're taught and you learn and you make it applicable, anyone can be a serviceable, good pro. And look, if you're a backup in the NFL, these cats make between $4 and $8 million a pop. $4 to $8 million to hold your dick on the sideline and have a headset on, and you're not even sweating, and girls are winking at you. And then the quarterback goes down, you go in and play for a couple of games and make $8 million. What person on the face of the earth is turning that fucking job down? Backup quarterbacks are the richest people on earth. They don't even get hit, and they make $4 to $8 million. Every single guy in the league, go look for yourself. There isn't one backup that doesn't make $4 to $8 million. And then the starters. How about these dudes? They pay that Prescott $60 million a year. He hasn't won a playoff game to save his mother's ass.
He hasn't done shit. He's most overpaid, under-delivering guy I've ever seen in the league.
$60 million they pay that dude for what?
John Watson worse than that.
And they're going to get Purdy $50 million. I think he's a pussy too. I think he's decent, but people act like he's Joe Montana. You must be fucking tripping. Joe Montana never lost a Super Bowl, okay? So the kid's already lost one. I don't want to hear it. That's like people telling me Michael Jordan wasn't good.
Hey, you need a new co-host or anything?
With a what?
You need a new co-host or anything?
So I do it with this dude, Carver High. I don't know if you've ever seen him. He's my Artie Lang. He's funny as shit. He's great. He's hilarious. He's stressed out. He's got 2 little kids. He's an alcoholic. He's got tattoos all over his body. He's fat. He reminds me of Ed Asner. You remember Ed Asner and Mary Tyler Moore, the boss in the newsroom? He's like him, and he's funny as shit. He's got a massive gambling problem. He's the best home run prop and golf betting person I've ever met in my life. The guy makes a living betting golf. Literally, he makes more money than most people do for a living in a year betting on golf. So together we're magical on TV and radio. We've been together like 12 years. My producer Mafia has been with me 20 years. But it's weird. I love both of them. They're great cats. I mean, like I'll go out with them in Vegas to dinner, whatever, and party. But I typically never see them and never do a fucking thing with them ever. Because like they all have a bunch of little kids. My kids are in college. And also like
I hate kids.
Mafia used to ball with me. He's 6'5", 240, but he pushed out like a bitch and quit playing. And I've been playing ball 6 days a week for my whole life. So I never stop playing ball. If my wife tries to interfere with my basketball, I'll put her in a fucking wood chipper. I don't tell my wife what to do. The other night she went out with like 7 whores to dinner, and I went, have a good time, pick up men, do whatever you want. I'm good. I'm watching Stanley Cup and NBA playoffs. I'm drinking rum over here. I got it all going. Gummies, everything.
Pick up men. I'm sorry.
I go, pick up men, have a good time. Don't fuck with my boss. She goes, you're going to bed? I get up at 5 in the morning, ho. You're going to bed already? I'm going to bed, ho. I get up at 5 a.m., ho. To ball. Don't get in the way of my ball.
Hey, JB, you met your match. I thought you was a crazy motherfucker.
Take all the money. Just leave the basketball alone. Don't fuck with me when I go balling.
New calls.
Shit.
Brown is crazy.
Replace you.
This is Brown right here.
He's gonna
Hey,
replace
Scott, it's been an honor to have
Hey, but we gotta do it. We gotta do it again.
Guy Larson. That's who got me on here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Craig.
God,
He used to be my boss. He always made me side hustle money. That's what I liked about him. Like he called me up. Yo, Ferrall, I got you another nickel. Do this commercial. I didn't. He made me so much money the Fed started chasing me, like the IRS. You know,
I like Craig.
What are these $500? I'm like, I don't remember anything.
As I am. I ain't filed taxes in years. But anyway, hey man, love you. Appreciate you. We got to do it again, brother.
All right, you guys are the best, man. Keep it up.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.
New friends. I love you guys. Be cool.
You too, brother. Appreciate you.